What up, everybody? So this is going to be part 4, I think, of the Searing Reflection series. So I've got a new little version tweaked up here. So pretty much the whole point of the deck is to Searing Reflection as soon as possible. Colifero is like a third Searing Reflection, kind of. So I've played about 3 different versions of this deck that I've shown you guys so far. I've played more, but some of them just weren't good enough to post. But essentially, the main differences from this and the last one are going to be Lynessa. So that's going to give us some of the rogue cards like O Manager and Metal Detector, which actually help the early game a lot. But more importantly, it gives us coins, which means that we can Searing Reflection as early as turn 5. There's been games where I've gone Metal Detector or going second, so I already have a coin. I go Metal Detector and then get a second coin off of that, and so turn 5 Searing Reflection into something cool. I'm still playing Ysera. I'm not sure if I had that in the last version or not, but it makes a huge difference, especially for the factory assembly bot. Once you get into those big turns, because 14 of the 30 cards in the deck cost 7 or more, Brute kind of being the exception, it makes it so much better when we have more mana to work with, obviously. So sometimes I'll be able to cast like a 7-drop and an 8-drop, which just makes a world of difference instead of being capped at 10 mana. Most of the same threats otherwise. I'm also using Ursol, which is a little different from past versions. That means that Searing Reflection or Renewing Flames can be cast 3 times, which is obviously fantastic. I love Renewing Flames in this because sometimes by the time you get to the point of casting it, you're a little low on life. But because of the early game protection with Metal Detector, Manager, Blob of Tar, stuff like that, I think the early game's not a big concern. And the Brute is kind of like extra insurance against like Shaman and other aggro decks that spam the board. I've actually liked the Brute a ton. I tried it in other versions. I'm not sure if I tried it in the last one, but it's done wonders. It helps the Shaman match up a bunch. There's like Paladin, super aggro decks, stuff like that, Murlocs, etc., and Demon Hunter as well. But they don't quite spam the board as much. But yeah, this is the deck. I really like Hammer of Wrath and Holy Glow Sticks, but I'm going down to 1 copy of each because I have the Metal Detector and O Manager. So we're going to see how this runs. I'm not going to beat it to death with explanation because I think you guys get the point by now. And I normally like to play about 5 games or more for these series because I don't want to just... I think it's a big flaw when people play a game and then change a deck and then play 2 more games and change a deck. I like to give it a good test and really see how it does, hopefully against a variety of different heroes, but we'll see what we get. I have been able to cast Ursol with, or Searing Reflection with Ursol and play it 3 times, and that's just the nuts. Renewing Flames is fantastic, though, also, because that's 30 damage for 9 mana. Spread across 3 turns, but still 30 damage. I've gone back and forth on Anachronos in this deck, and I think he's a necessary evil. He's really good at just getting stuff out of the way temporarily, and that can be especially helpful with Death Knight and what's the other one? With Shaman, because Shaman has that weapon that they get that attaches to the... I don't remember the what the card is called, but the Wind Fury weapon. And so sometimes if they get the guy that gets the weapon, then if you Anachronos, it goes away for a couple turns, which is sometimes just the little breather you need to be able to stabilize and get things back on track. We'll see how we do against Murlocs here. I don't love this matchup, but okay, Consecration's helpful. What to do? I think early turns are not the biggest concern because they're just going to be playing normal dudes. It's obviously when we get to like the mid to late game that things can get crazy. So I just have to hope for, no Tyrannogills and crazy stuff like that. Alright, let's hammer that. I really like Hammer in this deck, and I wish I was playing 2 in this version, because the card draw is phenomenal. It's only 1 card, obviously, but for 3 mana and 3 damage, it's very efficient. And there's not a lot of card draw in this. I mean, you're drawing off of Searing Reflection and Colifero, but otherwise there's not a lot. I think I was using Vacation Planning in early versions, but it just didn't do enough. And at 4 mana, I mean, the difference between 3 and 4 mana is a lot, even though Vacation Planning draws 2 cards. But you never know. I could always go back to it. It's hard to say. I think the main core, as far as minions go, is Blob of Tar, Nomelia, and Factory Assembly Bot. I really like Factory Assembly Bot in this because, I mean, Colifero means you get a couple, which normally will attack for like between 12 and 18. If you can do similar things with like Ragnaros, but obviously a little different. Okay, that's a full board. Alright, so Brain Gill was pretty clutch for them there. I want a Consecration, but I'm not sure that's the right call. I guess it does protect me from Crusader Aura, which is important to play around. And if I Consecration, I can also glow stick that guy, gain a little bit of life. It doesn't seem like the worst. They're going to draw 1 card. Let's do that. And I think we'll do this as well. Alright, clear board. Feels good. So depending on what they do, I could coin in Renewing Flames, but not sure if that's right. I would love to draw a Searing Reflection off the top. That's always my preference when I can. A couple of times I played this deck and Searing Reflection into Lynessa, and that was just... that was not helpful. The main draw I like with Lynessa, outside of getting the rogue cards, is it makes your coins give you double. Speak of the devil. What to do here? I think Lynessa is fine, because I don't really care about keeping her around. I mostly just want the rogue cards. It does make your coins double, which can be helpful, but I'm not super concerned about that in this game. Yeah, that seems fine. Yeah, once they start drawing Tyrannigill and Grunty, this matchup can get a little bit worse. Fair enough, okay. There's a Tyrannigill. Good old plucky paint fin. I think Anachronos is probably fine here, because it's also they're not going to slow down their pace just because I cleared their board. So if they play more guys and they have less space, they're going to get less minions back. So I think that's okay. Mistakes of the past. There he is. Well, Renewing Flames seems important. I could Ziliax also. That doesn't seem bad. Yeah, let's do Ziliax. That'll put some pressure. Back to 30.
There are no mistakes in the
They got so many Steam Fin Thieves this game. That is such a good card. Alright, so they get their minions back this turn, but only 3 of the 4, thankfully. Wow, and they get a bonus again? That's... okay, that's pretty unfortunate. So Renewing Flames doesn't help here. I think Searing Reflection is the only thing that may help. Murlocs just go crazy. It is nuts. Like, if I had Quality in Renewing Flames, I'm still taking a bunch of damage. Either way, I'm probably taking a bunch of damage, but let's hope this is something that matters. Okay, that's kind of helpful. Yeah, O-Manager is not good against Murlocs. Obviously, except for early turns, but maybe I should have just played it for the sake of playing it early. There was a hot minute in the standard metagame where it seemed like Murlocs might be leaving after they nerfed the quest to 6 instead of 5 Murlocs. But it seems like people were just exploring other decks and came right back to it. Like, there was a time before Across the Timeways came out where it was just Murlocs like every other game, or every couple of games at least. Yup, okay, down to 2. So I can Equality, O-Manager, get a coin, Renewing Flames, and bash a guy. So I'd be gaining 10. And then they would attack for a lot more. Is that all I got, though? Yeah, like, Factory Assembly Bot could hit some dudes, but that's all my mana, and I die on the backswing. So I think... let's see. So we're going to do that. Next biggest guy is that. And then I do this, and then they've still got 14 left, yeah. Alright, that's the way it goes. Lost to the Boogeyman. Good old Murlocs. I think the Murloc matchup could be improved if I'm playing, what is it, Scorching Observer, the 9 mana 7/9 with lifelink or lifesteal and rush.
Command the light.
Not the best. I'm gonna pray this isn't another Murloc deck. That would be unfortunate. And it's Murlocs. Awesome! Well, this should be fun.
Reporting for duty. justice. I wonder.
Well, this one doesn't look as bad as the last one.
I wonder.
This is going to draw them the Tyrannigil, which is unfortunate, but what are you going to do, I guess?
I must move quickly.
I think drawing a card is fine here. Okay. Yeah, let's hold this up. See if we can get something good to use it on. I'm kind of hoping they spam the board here, because then the Brute is going to come in handy. That's good enough, I guess. So I can go here and here. That's a good draw. Nomelia will definitely come in handy. So I'm feeling better about this game versus the last one. They don't have 17 Steamfin Thieves so far. Consecration would be great. That's quality consecration is one of the best ways to answer them. And pretty much the best way to answer anything, but seems I don't think Nomelia is necessary just yet. So I got 9 cards. We can do this. That'll draw me a card. Okay, that's helpful too. Okay, so everything's going to get +1/+1 right now. Yeah, I think I just have to use this on stuff for the sake of using it. Cool. So, much better position than the last game. Let's go. Yeah, Murlocs are one of the big reasons I play this guy. Because without him, I'm just pretty helpless. I mean, that last game was a pretty good example. Even with the removal that I was drawing, it's so hard to keep up. So if you can gain a little bit of life and put stuff in the way, it's usually pretty solid. Nomelia seems a little better now. I can pop this guy and then clear the board except for the reborn copy of that. They're going to draw a card, which isn't great, but they've got a grip over there. And I got to remember, Anachronos will resummon them, which will give them another bump from the quest, which is not ideal at all. I could Tyrion, actually. Maybe Tyrion's okay. Yeah, let's run
For
that.
justice. Put your faith in the light. I must move quickly.
Of course. Yeesh. That's unfortunate. Well, Equality Nomelia could help clear that board. Seems likely that's going to happen. Thankfully taking minimal damage so far. Yeah, I think this is the way to go. Doesn't matter what I attack, because they're all gonna die.
For justice.
Alright, now everything gets +3/+3. Ooh, that's unfortunate. Okay. I think if I'm gonna Searing Reflection, it's probably just gotta be now. Because that guy's definitely not gonna kill it.
Let me think.
Ooh, that's helpful.
For
Alright,
justice.
let's get that out the way. Do this.
Reporting for duty.
Alright, so this game's going pretty well so far. Down to 17 is not ideal, but holding Ziliax is very... it leaves me with a little bit of hope against the Gurgles. Murlocs are just insane. Of course. Oh, that was dumb to play that, because now they got a guy that'll give them more Murlocs. Of course. Well, wouldn't be a fun brewing session if there weren't misplays, right? Shoot, okay. So I could have avoided 2 of those guys on the board, but still not in a great spot. Perfect! So let's do this.
Justice.
And they'll have 1 minion left over because of that Divine Shield, unfortunately. Oh, shoot. That was not equality. Well, it happened. Jeez. Ay, ay, ay. Could be worse, I suppose. So in that case, I'm definitely going Assembly Bot and Mini next turn, and hopefully I can put enough pressure to get this game ended, but we'll see. Even though, like, I mean, maybe, you know what? Maybe this is actually better, because then I delay them off for 2 turns with that board, and then when they come back, I can Equality Consecration and hopefully have some dudes on the board that will continue to attack. So maybe that worked out better than my original plan, even. Okay, so definitely losing Anachronos.
I must move quickly.
Yeah, the card draw available to Murlocs is just baffling. Yeah, I don't think I can do this in good conscience. I think Ziliax is probably better, which, I mean, isn't the worst here. let's go manager on something too. So let's get rid of their biggest guys if possible. So we're going to do this here. And then these two here. Alright, hanging in there. Yeah, it's funny because without the quest, Murlocs would be very fringe, like borderline unplayable. I'm sure there would be some aggressive builds that could do okay, but jeez. But without the quest, it's just nowhere near as good. This is making me want to play Murlocs again. Alright, and then this is where the guys come back. And thankfully we have Equality Consecration. So let's go hold up. So I'm going to Holy Glow Sticks this guy first and then Equality Consecration. 4, 6, 9 mana, yeah. And they're down to 1 card, which is great. So it seems like they mismanaged their hand a little bit. Overextended, didn't realize they were going to get back a full board of guys. Which surprisingly a lot of people do. They just forget about the Anachronos trigger. And let's go coin, and chronological. So this game is now winnable. Who would have thought? They still have plenty of cards that they could draw. Like Prize Vendor will continue the draws. You know, if they have a couple of guys that they can get out, then Brain Gill obviously helps them. But this is a much harder position for them to retain that momentum now. And I've got ways to close out the game. Of course they have a Tyrannigal. Of course they do. And they literally have Brain Gill too. Wow.
Reporting for duty.
Okie dokie then. Let's see. So I'm going to get a 3/5 at the end of the turn, which is great. I'm thinking about maybe Ragnaros and Blob of Tar, because then I've got 2 taunt minions, and hopefully Rag hits one of those 2. Knowing my luck, it'll hit the 1/1. Yeah, I think that's the better option, because I can do this in the mini, but if it hits this, then they obviously get 3 more, and each of these guys is getting like, what, +6/+6, so that's going to be 18 power alone just from those guys. Or no, it'd be 8, so 24 power. Still a lot. Still a lot. So let's do this and this. And let's hope for the best. Ha! What'd I tell you? Yeah, there's a saying in gaming, it's better to be lucky than good. Well, if you're unlucky, then what are you going to do? So at least now they can't get to the Ragnaros, which is great. Unless they get a rush guy off of this. Which it looks like they might have. Okay. But they still got to get through those. There it is. Okay, bye-bye Rag. Okay, I got one more dragon coming. Consecration unfortunately doesn't help much. So, what to do here? I don't know that Renewing Flames is going to matter that much. I'm thinking I do this in the mini and Consecration, because then These are 6/7s, so at least that'll make it so the majority of the guys would die that would hit. Watch, knowing my luck, it's just going to hit their face, and then they're going to attack back and kill me. So, yeah, I think that's the play. So we do this. Let's get rid of this guy, since he wouldn't die from one of these. And then I'll play both of these. And hopefully we kill 2 guys and don't die. That would leave 18, 26 power. Nice. Ah, come on. So they got 36 power, but they do have to get through the dragon in order to hit me. So I can only take 27. Nope. Oh. Well, shoot. So that's 33, and I'm dead. Dang. So close. So close. Alright, so 2 losses to Murlocs is super fun, huh? So I'm definitely going to have to tune this deck a little bit more for the Murloc matchup. I'm sure I mentioned it already, but I've tuned this a little bit more for the Shaman matchup because that was just completely atrocious. So Shaman matchup is much better. I played a couple of games against them recently and had a much more fair shake at winning the game. Alright, good old Death Knight.
Act of sacrifice is mine.
I will fight with honor.
Yeah, Death Knight can be tough because Bwansamdi, or whatever he's called, is the recursion elements of that deck involving Bwansamdi are just crazy good. Okay, we're both playing Ysera. Does that mean that we get 10 extra mana this game? That could be cool. So coin plus metal detector. I really hope I draw Searing Reflection early, because then I can play it as soon as turn 5. If I didn't have this coin, which you can do also is turn 3 metal detector attack. Turn 4 without attacking, you play the second one, so you get a coin off the first, attack with the second, and then turn 5 you attack again and get the second coin. So it looks like I can turn 5 Renewing Flames, which I hope isn't relevant. If they're doing crazy enough stuff that I feel like I gotta cast that, then it's not a very good position.
For justice.
Yeah, I think what attracted me to this deck in the first place is just being able to play powerful things. Because it's not super common to play stuff like Ragnaros and Tyrion, and like Factory Assembly Bot is not played in basically anything. So to be able to utilize some of those cards is a lot of fun. And I think if you're not having fun while you're playing, then like, what are you playing for?
For justice.
So fingers crossed I've got a Searing Reflection on top. That would be amazing here. A little surprised it's turn 5 and they haven't really done anything. Fair enough. can Renewing Flames and hit him for 10 in the face. That's actually not horrible. Put him to 14, 12 after attacks. Then I've got Weapon, Hammer, and Ragnaros to follow up with. That could be okay, actually. It's definitely not great, but... yeah, you know what? I think... yeah, if I can put this pressure early, I might as well, because... every once in a while you'll get a busted draw where you can just do stuff like this, and... I mean, obviously not metagame defining busted, but for this deck, any type of quickness is amazing. Like turn 5 Searing Reflection usually leads to pretty busted things. That's fair. So the question is, do I Metal Detector or Brute? I think Brute. I was hoping to drop that guy a lot earlier. Normally against Death Knight you can drop it down like turn 3 or 4. Obviously depending on their draw. Like if they had, you know, this guy early plus leeches and other stuff, then this guy comes down real fast. Hopefully this incentivizes them to play more minions. Or do that. Okay then. What? Oh, okay, they just gave me a 9/7. That's fantastic. So if they don't kill it, they're going to die next turn. That's great. Okay, they're just dead. That works out well.
With my blessing. For justice.
Alright, 1 and 2. Yeah, that turn 5 Renewing Flames was pretty awesome. That helped quite a bit. Yeah, I still think Shaman is the best deck in the format. The things you can do with that deck are just completely busted. Speaking of...
Your time ends now.
I will fight with honor.
I think I gotta keep a Quality Consecration. Because they can spam the board really well, and that's perfect, because if they spam early, I play this, and then when they make a decent enough board, I Quality Consecration. Nice, Nomelia's good too. Yeah, this deck would be nowhere near as good if I didn't have Blob of Tar and Nomelia, and I think this guy is also a part of those core minions that make the early turns feasible.
Reporting for duty.
Of course they have turn 2 Turbulus. They're Shaman, it's what they do. This card is way too good. It doesn't seem overly powered on its surface, but it's very good.
Reporting for duty.
Yeah, the hunter tourism stuff is crazy, because between bird watching and the location, they've just got so much power. That's good. I'm surprised they're not playing many minions yet. They could have just turned 3 Turbulus, but I guess they were hoping to draw some stuff. Let's just keep putting pressure ahead with our little soldiers. I'd love to drop the Brute this next turn. There we go. Jeez. 6/5 is crazy for that. Yeah, I think Brute is fine. I mean, that's not great, but it trades with 1. I could equality and just kill their team, actually. That's not their worst. Yeah, I don't mind that, actually.
Reporting for duty.
I never make two trips. I never make two trips.
Well, that seems pretty good. Nice, there's the other consecration. I don't think this is the spot I use Nomelia. That feels a little soon. Let's do this. Jeez. Well, that seems good. Okay. Well, now I feel like I have to use Nomelia. Shoot. Searing Reflection could just result in me dying if I don't get something with Taunt or Rush. I've already got Ziliax in my hand. That's helpful. I'd gain 10, but it's going to kill these two. Trying to figure out if they have the ability to kill me from 8 life right now. I don't think it's going to happen. There's that spell that makes the 2 3/3 birds that have immune while attacking. So those could hit me, put me to 2.
Let me think.
Maybe Anachronos is the play here. Let's do that.
Mistakes of the past rewritten.
Yeah, I didn't want a Renewing Flames, gain 10, and then just take 6 right back. So I think this is fine. Jeez. Okie dokie then. So maybe I'll have to Renewing Flames their face right now. Just gain 10. How's it feel to be low on life now, buddy? Yeah, if they can pump their hero, then I'm probably just dead. Eesh. Equal to its attack? Come on. That is ridiculous.
Outsider.
Well played.
That is really crazy. Ay, ay, ay. Well, I guess it, yeah, didn't really matter much. Actually nuts. So yeah, Shaman. Pretty good deck, huh? I think I'm getting close to the final version of this deck. I don't want to give up on this idea too early, because I do feel like there's something here, but it's got to be the right mix is the hard part about deck building.
I will fight with honor.
As much as I want to play Renewing Flames off of Ursol, that's way too far down the road. And yeah, Lynessa, I got a chance throwing that back. Pretty good hand, okay. Okay.
Reporting for duty.
I thought about trying an Imbue Paladin version of this, but it doesn't seem like it would be very good. That's surprising. You don't see people play that very often. So I guess I'm just going to take 6 next turn. Alright.
For justice.
Jeez, okay. That's the way it goes then. This goes to lowest health enemy, so I can play this and then kill it. It's only 2 damage.
For justice.
Could be worse. I assume they're going to have Ravenous Fell Hunter or return policy or something. I think the next series I do is going to be like Cliff Dive Demon Hunter. I really like that deck, but I haven't played it in a while, and I want to fiddle around with the big guys that you would get off of Cliff Dive. I think the Briar Spawn Drake could be cool, because it gives your minions rush, so I could hit something with the Briar Spawn, and then it deals the excess damage to the hero. So with 12 attack, that kills pretty much everything. I think this is the right call. Makes me harder to hit, and hopefully I'll gain some life. Wouldn't be surprised if it gets red carded. That's fair, okay. Ooh, look at that. I like that a lot. Back to 30. Yeah, I started testing one copy of Renewing Flames, and it was so good. I was like, let's try 2, and just have not looked back. Originally, it was just for Ursal to have like another target outside of Searing Reflection,
A nightmare.
but it's been way more influential than I expected. Okay. That is the better of the 3. And let's just put some more pressure on her. I don't anticipate needing it, but I can get a coin off of this next turn and then Zilliax. Pretty sure I'll do something else, though. What do we got, buddy? Ooh, Perennial Serpent's good, okay. Maybe I play Perennial Serpent in Cliff Dive Demon Hunter. That might be good. Yeah, one of the things I like the most about Cliff Dive Demon Hunter is the recursion of Blob of Tar. Forgive me if I'm repeating myself. I know I talk about Blob of Tar a lot, but between Ravenous Fell Hunter and Return Policy, you can make like 8+ Blob of Tars in a game. It's pretty awesome. Yeah, maybe I just hit him for 10 with Renewing Flames, because I go here. Yeah, that seems fine. They get that guy 2 more turns still.
For justice.
And between the rest of the threats in my hand, I think this game is winnable. I'd hope so. They're at 7 and I'm at 30. That's pretty good. Don't you want to hit me, though? You don't want to hit this guy. I guess, does that have rush? It does have rush. Yeah, this is also on Cliff Dive Demon Hunter. It's a pretty darn good card. So if they're at 13... I could Nomelia and Consecration or Ziliax. Ziliax both would have to attack that guy. Problem with this, it's going to deal 4 to their face, but then I have an empty board, so I'd like to be able to continue the aggression.
Let me think.
So yeah, Nomelia with this board would be much better.
Nurture the nightmare.
Another Perennial Serpent? I hope not.
Everyone ready for the fight of their lives?
Wow, okay then. Well, I guess I can't kill him this turn. That's unfortunate. What's the best way to go about this? Factory Assembly Bot seems good. I can do that and the mini with the coin. I just pray that it hits the minions and not their face. That would be such a waste if it hit them in the face. You know, why don't we just do this?
Reporting for duty.
Straight from Outland.
I would really love to kill them with this guy. It's so satisfying to beat people down with Factory Assembly Bot. That's unfortunate. Ooh. So, what do we do here? Yeah, I think I got a Factory Assembly Bot. Whether it hits their face or their minions, I'm happy with both. Nice. Cool. That's fair. Don't you gotta hit the 6-1? I feel like you gotta hit the 6-1.
Our enemies will fall.
Okay. Not the best. But we can also do this.
Reporting for duty.
So they've already used both of their first edition Demon Hunter cards, thankfully. Yeah, I missed that first edition of Demon Hunter. That was a really good pool of cards.
I grow weary.
Yeah, Glaveborn Adept was very good. Such an aggressive card. I've had them on their heels for quite a bit now, but really got to finish this game out somehow. They're at 13, so I don't... is Equality Consecration the play here?
Let me think.
I could Anachronos and Tyrion. I mean, that feels like a waste of Anachronos. Same thing with Equality Consecration.
I must move quickly.
My duty fulfilled.
Yeah, let's give it a try.
Mistakes of the past rewritten.
Put your faith in the light. Hide behind yourselves. I will still
Sure. Aren't they just dead, though? They gotta have something else. Even gaining the armor off of this, they're still dead.
well played.
Yeah, okay. Alright, so 2-3. Not bad. That Demon Hunter matchup is pretty good for us. They definitely have a fair shot, but yeah, it's pretty easy to overpower them because my big minions are just so much bigger than them. They have to use so many resources to get rid of them. So, works out pretty well. The Pain Demon Hunter, like the aggressive version, is a little bit harder matchup, but still manageable.
Uther versus Anduin.
The light shall bring victory.
Alright, Mr. Priest, I see you. Maybe we'll play Colifero this game. Ysera, you're like 8 turns too early. Can you can you come back when the time is appropriate? Oh, okay.
Reporting for duty.
Yeah, this thing is pretty good. Pretty good. I'm not sure how consistent this is. I think it's fairly easy to do this, but they probably need ways to recur the elemental guy.
For justice.
To battle!
Very interesting.
For justice.
Elune, bring guidance.
It'd be great to draw a card that I can play before O Manager. Then I can okay. It's actually not a bad draw. Yeah, I would love to O Manager get that extra coin so I can do an 8-drop next turn, but that seems unlikely now. So, let's see what we can do here. I miss when Ragnaros was one of the most powerful things you could do in Hearthstone. Alright, there's no Melia. I think Holy Glow Sticks and O Manager is fine here. Because that gives me minions I can use for Colifero next turn. I just pray the only thing I don't want off of this is Lynessa. Pretty much everything else is good. I'll take the Brute even. I'll take anything but Lynessa. Factory Assembly Bot would be amazing. Alright. What do we get?
Everyone could use a fresh coat of paint.
Sweet! Okay. Pretty powerful. Alright.
My rage is not bound by size.
Hopefully this hits the 4/4. Okay, good enough. Totally cool. You're still dead, buddy. Still dead. Check this out. Bonk. And a bonk. That's how this is supposed to go. Alright, so after 6 games, we are 3-3. Man, those Murloc matchups were rough. That really started off on the wrong foot. So far, I've beaten Death Knight, Demon Hunter, and Priest. And then lost to Shaman and Murlocs twice. Alright, Demon Hunter it is.
I have come too far to stop now. I will fight with honor.
Not sure if I should keep Chronological Aura here. I want to, so I'm going to. But I'm not sure if that's the correct call. We're going to find out. I really like this version of the deck. Except for Shaman and Murlocs, it's pretty solid against most other things. And there's a decent shot against Shaman. But they do have some really busted draws they can have. I feel like there's still just something missing from this. It was a huge bump in power level to get the rogue cards from Lynessa. There's still something that needs to change in here to make this kind of hit its potential. I am tempted to try Living Flame again, because if I can turn 5 Searing Reflection, then I want to draw it more often. Well, shoot. Okay, so let's put up some protection.
For justice.
Always use protection. Always. Yeah, I went down to 1 Chronological Aura in this build. I was playing 2 for pretty much every iteration before this. It's a very good card. And I like I like how it helps the Colifero possibilities. But it's a little clunky sometimes. Oof, taking 7 here. Quality off the top? Okay, Renewing Flames is helpful, but not sure that's enough. I think this is fine, because I get a 3/5 also. Yeah, Perennial Serpent is really solid card.
Another soul.
Ooh, wow. Okay, then. So looks like I'm taking 11 this turn. Quality? My consecration's not it. I can double consecration, but what does that even do? I mean, it clears everybody but this guy, and then I do have a 3/5 after. Renewing Flames would kill these two. I'd gain 10, go to 26, but... Yeah, I think Renewing Flames is the play here.
I wonder.
That guy makes something in their hand cost 6 less, which is surprisingly good. Never thought I'd see this guy in standard play. He seems powerful, but like, it just seems a little too situational. Couldn't you have hit me for 8 if you, or hit me for 8 if you did that and then these two to me? Very interesting. Wow. Okay then. So it looks like I'm going to take a lot next turn. I can Tyrion the following turn, but I don't know if it's going to matter. Gotta at least do that. I mean, yeah, let's gonna give him a guy. Jeez, okay, that's just it.
Well, Blender.
The victory is yours.
Yeah, I don't think that game was gonna last long regardless. Alright, so 3 and 4 after Demon Hunter. Probably gonna play 1 or 2 more games here. So I think the next version I'm gonna try after this is gonna have 1 or 2 Living Flames, probably 2. Because if I can draw Searing Reflection every game, and I can cast it on turn 5 or 6 reliably with the coins, I think that's good enough synergy to speed this up. Because that's the thing I've been working on the most, is trying to get this thing more consistent and faster.
I will fight with
Please don't be Murlocs. Oh, please don't. That's the last thing I need right now. Okay. Good enough hand. No Murlocs, no Murlocs. Doesn't look like Murlocs. Ah, okay. Maybe. It could also be some type of aura toolbox, something or other. I think if you're playing Murlocs, you want to play your quest first, so hopefully we've got a shot. Okay, then. Question is, what dragon is this going to get him? I'm sure we will find out soon. I'm hoping it's something like Portal Vanguard and not something crazy. Okay, so they're Imbue Paladin.
For justice.
Yeah, I feel much better about Imbue Paladin than Aura or Murlocs or pretty much any other version of Paladin. They definitely have powerful things they can do, but I stand a much better shot than the other decks. Maybe I should have done that guy. Let's do this, though. Ooh, you know what I can do here? This will cast twice, and then this will cast twice, giving me 2 more coins for the following turn. And these coins will cast twice, assuming I have this on my next turn, and then I can just, like, factory assembly bot on turn 6. Now that seems good. Okay, I think I'm going to do it. That seems awesome. Oh, let's do it! Okay, here we go. That's pretty awesome. Alright, take another 6 after that. Boom. And if they want to clear the board, I've still got, I've still got another assembly bot at the ready. I could also Searing Reflection, but I think assembly bot's gonna be pretty awesome. That's fair. Yeah, I really want to roll the dice with the Searing Reflection. Is that greedy? I don't know. No, I think I got an assembly bot, because... Okay, timeout, math time. So I've got 3 minions that'll make 1, so that's 4, 5, 6, so I can play this. And then we're going to take these guys out. And let's hit him for 12 more.
Mistakes of the past rewritten.
Ooh, hello. That on either Searing Reflection or Renewing Flames? I mean, wow. Yeah, Renewing Flames just kills them here, but... I want a Ursul so bad! Alright, 4 and 4. Imbue Paladin did not stand a chance. Yeah, the hard part about the next version of this deck is what do I take out for Living Flame? Living Flame does affect the Colifero transformation sometimes, but I think that's a risk I'm willing to take if it means that I can more consistently turn 5 Searing Reflection.
Greetings, friend. Let's begin. I will fight with honor.
Okay, playing a priest. Let's see what version they're playing.
You're welcome in Karazhan.
Yeah, at first I was really hesitant to put Factory Assembly Bot in here, because I had gotten it and tried it in something, and it wasn't good at all. So I had dusted it. So I was like, dude, I really gotta, like, buy it again. Because if I play something and it doesn't, and it's not good enough, and it's not going to get played in anything else, then, you know, usually I'll just dust it, because you might as well use that for stuff that you're going to actually play. But once I got it, I was so happy I did. It's just one of the best threats you can get off of Searing Reflection, Colifero, anything. And after I added Ysera to this, being able to play it and the mini in the same turn is so good. I want to O-Manager so I can get a coin, but I don't think I can do that till next turn. So we'll have to settle for Blob of Tar. It's pretty good when the play you're settling on is Blob of Tar of all things. I'm not sure I want a Consecration in O-Manager though. That's not ideal. That Lynessa play last game was nuts. That was pretty dope. That was definitely the best that Lynessa has done so far. Fair enough. Okay. Okay. Speak of the devil. I know it's not good, but I'm going to do this so I can turn 6 Searing Reflection. It's a little greedy, I am well aware, but I think Searing Reflection is going to be the best chance to gain some serious momentum here, because otherwise I'm going to have to wait a bit. And I don't know that I'm going to be able to land Lynessa and get another turn with her. And knowing I'm not going to get Lynessa off of this is also good. It would still be an 8/8, but it's one of the worst targets. I'm almost hoping I get the Brute off of this, because then I can play it the following turn for 6 or 7. Oh, look at that. Maybe I'll just play Renewing Flames. Wow, and I got that. Okay. What do we got? Yeah, this guy with Divine Shield is pretty awesome. That's interesting. I did not expect that. Renewing Flame seems okay here. Not sure if that's the best play, though. I think another Brute could be awesome.
Let me think.
Endless answer. Players will suffer endless torment.
Yeah, they're struggling enough with the first one that a second one should help a lot. If they had Resuscitate, that would be bad for me. But I don't think it would matter what I had, because Resuscitate is just a phenomenal card. Watch, they're going to play it right now. No Resuscitate, please. No thank you, please. Ay, ay, ay. How do you hem and haw about that? That's the best possible thing for you right now. Yep, yeah, that's pretty good for them. Now, I don't know if I Renewing Flames, I don't know if that's going to hit this guy twice, or if it's going to hit that and one of the others. I'm not going to chance it to find out. But it is good to know regardless. Wow, that's pretty nice. So... yeah, I think I'm just going to slam Tyrion and see what happens.
Put your faith in the light.
I could have Brute and Lynessa, but it didn't seem good enough. I mean, they're obviously going to clear whatever I put out there right now with those 4 guys. Ay, ay, ay. Okay, I'm taking some damage. Equality off the top would be incredible. Man, equality? Nope. Well, shoot. I can Renewing Flames and Brute. Yeah, let's do this first. I hit this guy. And Renewing Flames will hit 2 things. Yeah, let's see what happens. Alright, much more manageable board. Only 1 minion left in their deck. I'm guessing it's Mothership. Oh, and the Dark Gift. Okay, put it on top. Jeez. That's not good. Shouldn't you have swapped this with this? Because then that's a 3/3 that would have gotten... ah, there you go.
I must be decisive.
Okay, this is not good. Nomelia is definitely helpful.
Justice.
Alright, the next turn I got Factory Assembly Bot and the Mini.
Are the voice of iron.
Oh boy.
Our path is clear.
Not helpful. Well then, looks like that's the end of the line. Yeah, I see no way to win this.
Justice.
Alright, 4-5 after 9 games. That is crazy. So I'm definitely going to switch in some Living Flames and see if I can get this thing more consistent and quicker. Man. Those were some games. Yeah, I'm really liking the evolution to this deck. So good. It's going to be tough to figure out what to cut for Living Flames. But I think it'll be worth it. Yeah, until next time, guys, keep an eye out for part 5 after this.